When you feel burnt out, tired, overworked, exhausted, stressed, anxious, feeling down, that is your body, your spirit, your being giving you a message. You need to change course. You need to change direction. You need to make some serious life adjustments. Now, we all have ups and downs in life. It goes like this. Sometimes the downs, we get stuck in a funk, and sometimes our downs are more permanent and long standing. And I always look at when I'm coaching clients or in my own life, what feedback is my spirit, my being, my mental state, my intuition giving me? And it's so easy to ignore that. And it's so easy to say, you know what, I feel overwhelmed, I feel frustrated, I feel burned out, and I'm just going to keep on doing the same thing I've always been doing. Our lifestyle is very unhealthy. When you think about it, it makes sense why so many people struggle with depression, anxiety, loneliness, a lack of fulfillment, a lack of purpose. We're surrounded by a lifestyle that it's like kind of like being in the zoo. We're not in our natural habitat. And that's why you'll notice if you spend extended amount of time, or even if you just go for a hike for the day, you always feel different. You feel just more grounded, more at peace, calmer, happier, more fulfilled, and just life doesn't have all that noise and drama and chaos and stress when you spend extended periods of time in nature. And by the way, my name is Steve. For new listeners or watchers, I am the Affordable Life Coach, something everybody benefits from. Consultation is absolutely free with no obligation. Send me an email in the description and give it a try. You got nothing to lose. Nature has a more slow, purposeful, mindful, meaningful rhythm to it. The world we live now, we're constantly being bombarded and overstimulated. And as one of my clients said to me recently, like, she can't go anywhere without either listening to something, or there are very few places she can go without listening to something or even falling asleep, and without being stimulated in some way. And it's just, and I noticed that's a temptation that I struggle with. It's just like this constant need to be entertained, to be distracted, to be stimulated, to be fed something, and it creates this deep disconnection with our spiritual being, our intuition, our wise mind. And that's one of the things I really like to bring clients that I coach back home to themselves, because we've been so manipulated and brainwashed and conditioned that how we live today is normalized. Now, there's a lot of benefits to how we live today. I'm not saying I'd want to go back to the Stone Ages. There's tremendous benefits, but we have to be intentional about what we surround ourselves with. And if we're constantly surrounded by four walls like I am now, if we're surrounded in buildings and cars and staring at screens and sedentary and disengaged from other people and isolated, and although some people do enjoy their solitude, I love my solitude. So, but there's other people that just feel a deep sense of loneliness and disconnection from other people. And the fast pace, like our brains are operating at an or like a car, the RPMs, the revs, like in the orange and red zone on an ongoing basis. From the alarm clock, getting up in the morning, if you have kids, having to take care of the kids, having emails to answer, tasks to do, bills to pay, taxes, like it never ends. We're like Winston Churchill said, life is just one damn thing after another. We're just constantly, and like how often do we just get to sit and just and just breathe and just be and just kind of connect with ourselves and see where we're getting off track in our lives and see where we're being led, and our intuition wants to take us into a much healthier and more sane lifestyle. This lifestyle is completely exhausting for most people. I know some people have found a way to make it work. It's like on a hyperdrive, and then we can't understand why we struggle with addictions, why we can't understand why we struggle with screens and all these other things, because we're exhausted. And so when you think like, oh, going to the gym or going out in nature or doing these things that involve self-care, just sitting on a park bench, reading a book, taking a bath, getting a massage, listening to relaxing, soothing music, or just sitting and staring at a wall and doing nothing, it's like foreign. And it's not only foreign, it's like we're judged for it. People think, oh, you're lazy. Even just taking naps. Man, I love taking naps. I love going on walks. And it's not something that is elevated in our society. It's like, when it plays into our ego, like, oh, if I look like I'm exhausted and I'm working and I'm overly busy and don't have enough time to do things, I'm important, I'm purposeful, I'm succeeding in life, I'm making money, I'm getting ahead. But at what cost? You'll never recapture that time ever again in your life. And to spend it so frivolously on other people's values, like we're caught up in a culture, in a society, in a world where we're just assimilating. We're conforming without us, oftentimes without even realizing it. And that's why it's so beautiful to discover, hey, I don't want this. I don't want to be part of the rat race. And then you don't have to say life sucks. You find small pleasures, small joyful hobbies and pursuits or interactions, and it just makes life so much more meaningful. And we've got to stop the influx of obligations, responsibilities, debts, financial burdens that weigh us down. And that's one of the things that I just love helping clients just travel through life feeling lighter, freer, calmer, and just saner and more simple. Oh man, it's so addicting that you can't go back to the old way once you get a taste of it. And sure, there's compromises we do have to make, and there's things that we do have to do, but there's room for creating little pockets of contentment, little pockets of self-realization, connecting with your spirit, connecting with God, connecting with the universe, connecting with nature, connecting with other people. And it doesn't have to be superficial. I think we're just so accustomed to this, just the superficiality of the society we live in, and it's just exhausting. It just wears us out and leaves us feeling empty. And then we're always looking for something for that next fix. And many of you might be watching this video and going, oh, I don't have the time. Oh, it must be nice for Steve to be able to do this, but it's unrealistic in my lifestyle. And I just say, this is bull. You're fearful. You're fearful of letting go of worldliness. And we're like addicted to worldliness. We're addicted to the news. We're addicted to all the drama. We're addicted to whatever the latest trending thing is. We're addicted to our phones, and all that keeps you just locked in and imprisoned by the world. And it's just a different way of living when you say, you know what, I don't want the world to be the center of my universe and to capture me. And especially all the powers that be that want to manipulate us and control us and influence us and indoctrinate us and divide us. We've just lost our cores. We've lost our spiritual core, and that's why you see everything in society just spiraling downwards, because we're lost. And it's not even complicated to find. It's just a process of elimination, saying no to things, reducing, simplifying, minimizing. Even our conversations, like sometimes I'm just like, I watch what I say in a lot of conversations because I don't want to spend the energy on just superficial small talk nonsense BS. It's wasted energy, and we waste so much energy on things that are short-term gain for long-term pain, and it doesn't feed us. In the one of my early videos, I talked about the afterglow. How do you feel after you do something? That is a good indicator of what direction you should be on, because a number of my clients will say, like, I don't know what my intuition's telling me. I don't know what my wise mind's telling me. Well, of course we don't. And that's something I help them get in touch with, but it's because we're always busy. It's talking to us. It's trying to guide us, but we're always distracted. We're always busy. And we just don't make time to just sit and listen. Sit and just be still. It's like a anti-anxiety drug. It's just like just sitting and just being still and being in nature. It just feels so calming and relaxing and peaceful. It's like surrendering. Man, you just surrender and not have to be so reactive to what does and doesn't happen in the world. I could always tell with my clients and with myself where I am spiritually. If I'm spiritually grounded, if I'm spiritually not in the place I should be, by how I react to what happens in the world. Do I get frustrated with people? Am I getting upset? Am I judging them? Am I angry? Do the little things bother me? Even bigger things, does that bother me? Or do I just let it roll off my back and just focus on what I can control? And so every morning when you wake up, it's the life becomes a mirror, revealing what's within your soul, what's within your being. And if you go through life with that mindset, everything's an opportunity to create more inner peace and to create more contentment. And it's the only way to live, because then our relationships improve, our happiness, our just overall spiritual, mental, psychological health improves. We're more productive, we're more focused, we're more grounded. What we see now is everyone is trying to escape their pain and their suffering through a distraction, through a stimulation, instead of working through it, working it out, releasing it in a healthy way, and healing themselves. Otherwise, we're just continuously taking aspirin and not dealing with the core issues that are causing the pain and suffering. So this is kind of like a free thought type of video. And if these subjects interest you, send me an email. My prices are ridiculously affordable, and everyone really benefits from coaching, especially if you want something that is not traditional of what you're going to read in most of the self-help books and YouTube videos. There's just so much more to life than we allow space to see. There's so much more, and the best journey is the journey inward, because all the things in the world are perishing. They're here today, gone tomorrow, here today, gone when we die. And it's just, this is not the way we were taught to be. The way we were taught to be was to be good worker bees, to be good followers, to be conformists, to fit in, to uh, group think, and not to be critical thinkers, to be free thinkers, to be independent thinkers, to discover truth, and to live a life that is in alignment with who we are and what our values are. So if you'd like to start that journey, like I said, send me an email and the usual stuff. If you want to see more videos like this, please like, comment, and subscribe. And I do truly appreciate your comments. This is a small channel. It gets a small amount of views. And those comments that people send me, I know, might take an extra minute or two, but it really means a lot to me. And I just thank you for all your support over the years and look forward to speaking to you in the next video. And if you made it to the end, you've got a lot going on because you're able to focus and you don't need all the distractions and high production value and cutaways and things like that. It's just me sitting here talking to you directly. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.